You talking about Czarus? Oh, I was like,
Mo can't hear this right now.
no idea. I'm sure it sounds terrific.
Similar to Black Sabbath.
I always wonder, why does it have to be Black Sabbath? I know we're live on Facebook. Hello.
Yeah, but
We're chatting.
I was just having some music on while we see as people show up.
The video quality seems to have suffered some. At least on my end.
Well, it's a lot different on the live feed. Well, there's a little bit of a brightness threshold. Nobody's catching it. You like it like that, Mo?
I mean, I'm just very, like, I don't know what you see, but like what I see is like a lot of fuzz. Like I can't see the definition of my face.
Oh, that's just your bandwidth.
That's just what?
Your bandwidth. You don't look that
Okay.
actually bad on the live thing right now.
Okay. I
Usually-
mean,
Yeah,
I was
your,
just
your
asking.
picture looks a
Oh.
lot better over here on
Yeah.
the double square than it does on the TV.
All right.
Nobody's seeing it yet, which is fine.
So we are live right now.
We are live now.
All right.
Go live. So, Mark, why don't you tell our Hawk fans who will be watching later or whatever? Got a new guy on the screen there. Who's that guy? Who's that handsome guy? What's up, buddy?
This is a pretty
Bonsai Man.
bonsai man. Yeah, there we go.
Bonsai Man.
Bonsai man.
And
He dropped some pretty funny memes.
Little man.
This is true.
I'm Indian number 2 in the TP.
Some pretty funny memes.
Little man.
This is true.
So Mo,
Very cool.
I had somebody
Hmm?
ask me the other day, if you're Native American, how come you don't live on a reservation? I said, have you ever been on a reservation before? Seriously?
They
That's like asking somebody if
I would.
that's like asking somebody when they take their shoes off, how come they don't live in Suncoast? That's just
You know, once you told me a joke that I was trying to think of it. I was trying to think of what it was, and I couldn't remember. And I know it had to do with a prostitute.
Okay.
With some joke, some
Oh.
dead prostitute joke.
That's
a
not.
good
I
joke.
don't. That's not a joke. I think we could use here.
Yeah.
I want to stay.
Why?
I want to be able to stay running and not get banned. Thank you.
And not get banned. It's a funny joke. But okay.
There's lots of funny
I'm
jokes.
saving that for the HBO special.
No dead prostitute jokes. Got it.
No.
All right. Stupid public opinion.
Okay, so we have people coming in on Twitch.
Awesome. Awesome.
What's up, Twitch addict?
Need a break from watching people do speed runs on Sonic the Hedgehog. Come on over and check out the crew over here.
Yeah, right now they're probably watching lots and lots of Apex.
Apex,
streams.
right?
Everything is Apex on Twitch right now. Everything is Apex right now. So I kind of ruined the fun by taking away Mo's favorite joke, but there's lots of other jokes that Jamie has.
Yeah.
We'll just like stay away from.
I didn't realize you called me over here to do stand-up. I would have prepared myself.
Well, you know, like if you don't want to do stand-up, I actually had a doctor's appointment today, and they informed me that I developed a really bad case of kleptomania, and unfortunately, it's going to get so bad I'm just going to have to take some. That was pretty exciting. Where's the drum?
That was.
Yeah. That's very reminiscent of the. You know, with all them bullet holes in you, I bet you feel like a big shot, don't you?
Well, I was just trying to warm it up for you. I can't be better than the headliner.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I can't drop the actual gold. I'd be like Seth Rogen and Funny People. I'd get on the stage and have nothing to say.
So.
I think this is going to be interesting. So, we're here with Bonsai Man, and I work with him, and through his sale and collection of tapes, plus being a musician, he talks to tons of different musicians and everything like that. So he's like, dude, we talk about music all the time. We talk about bands all the time. Why don't you just have bands come on live and like talk to them? So today, Czarus is supposed to be coming on live with us in a little bit. They just got done doing their set. I guess they had a 20-minute set, and I just got off the phone with him, and I guess they're driving somewhere. I didn't know they were going to be back in that, or they have his phone, but his buddy picked up the phone. And so when they're ready, I'll have them on in a little bit. But this will be definitely interesting because we have like some questions for him in general, but it's like a kind of a little bit of a hectic state because I called them and they were ready to go live, but I'm like, you're in a truck, right? He's like, yeah, we're driving in the truck. He's driving the truck right now. Dylan's the guitarist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's driving the truck right now. I'm like, well, I'll just wait till you guys are in a safer spot before we have you come on live and everything like that. And we were supposed to go on a little bit earlier, and we're having some audio difficulties, so we didn't want to go live. And we were just going to like talk about some general news about some sports entertainment till they were ready. But I'm kind of out of the loop with the sports stuff, so that's all you, Mo. Mo, you're the sports guy.
Yes.
I am the sports guy, but We don't have to talk sports. I actually saw some pretty cool things that they're leaking. They're leaking on Looper, and I mean, obviously, if you follow the show, you know I talk a lot of Marvel on the show. I really enjoy them as a whole, you know, for entertainment and media. And just like every other fucking year, the freaking toys that are coming out, they're giving away the movie. So, and then on top of that, some math to kind of put together. So, as you know, at the end of the last Infinity War movie, Samuel L. Jackson lets out a distress call to Captain Marvel, right?
Right.
All right. So, if you're not a comic book reader, so you don't really even know who Captain Marvel is. She's not exactly one of like the headline superheroes for somebody who doesn't get into comics. And she has a standalone movie that's coming out now, so you're going to kind of understand where she comes from, get to know the character before she's a really big deal in Infinity Wars Part 2. Somebody, I guess, did some research and whatnot and leaked everybody to know. Apparently Captain Marvel, part of her powers set is that she can time travel. So Captain Marvel can go back in time if she needs to, go forward in time if she needs to at her will, at her whim. Do you guys have any knowledge on that? Did you know that?
I didn't know that, but like, that kind of, that just knowing that in knowledge in general, that kind of like it kind of like gives away like everything that could possibly go on, because then, well, can't she go travel in time and then change what happened?
She can, and this is where it kind of goes to now what the fuck are they doing? What? Okay. I'm sorry, give me a second. My son has a fever. Alright. So she can time travel, right? And then at the end of Ant-Man and Wasp, Ant-Man he gets stuck in the whatever realm that he went into. So that's another little hint that they leave for you in the movies. Now when they released the preview to Endgame, you see that, you know, Scott Lang's out. He somehow got out of the realm or something. So you know he's out. He's knocking on the door. He's trying to get into wherever he's trying to get into so he can talk to Captain America and try to figure out where to go from here, because all his people turned to dust too.
What's up, Brian?
Yeah, so these toys have just came out. They released a Hulkbuster version of War Machine. So somehow, with Tony being in space, the War Machine now has a Hulkbuster version. That got leaked. The Chitauri that they fight in the very first Avenger movie, that were sent by Thanos, led by Loki, they have a toy too. So what they're trying to say is that Captain Marvel is going to bring them back, and they're going to have to refight or relive or redo that entire fight where Tony like takes the nuke up into their world and drops the nuke and like blows their ship up. Somehow we're going to go back to that. So in doing that, that means Loki's going to be in the movie too. I mean, there's so many things that they're leaking, and everything's being leaked through the toys. Like everybody's making these assessments through the toys. Like another set of toys that came out has Rocket Raccoon and Thor, who are together because they have some kind of friendship, wearing the Hank Pym jumpers. So you know that they're probably going to go into wherever Scott Lang was. I forget what they call that realm. It's some kind of realm where they actually warn Scott Lang, don't get sucked into a time vortex, because if you get sucked in a time vortex, we can't save you. So there's you know that time is gonna play a part in this, and I mean, it just, in my opinion, it just amplifies the need to watch this movie even more. I really want to see this movie.
So they're doing a good job.
Bad.
So they're doing actually doing. So if you guys don't understand completely, is like in general, Marvel gives no leaks. They don't leak nothing, even accidentally, like some people do. But they do give away hints in their toys before the movie comes out. So every single time they release like a toy here and there, it reveals more of what we probably should expect to be in the movie. And this has like been historical with Marvel. And I'm gonna say hello to Angelo because Angelo's in the chat right now. So is Brian. Brian said, "What's up, guys?"
What's going on, Brian? What's up, Jello?
So as much as it is giving away part of the story, it's doing a good job because it makes you want to watch the movie even damn more.
I just
Well, see, this is the thing, though. What you just want? What, buddy? I'm sorry.
I just want to see Howard the Duck. You know, at the end of the Guardians of the Galaxy, when they show Howard the Duck, I want Howard the Duck in one of the movies. That's all I want.
He's gonna get a show.
I heard something about some rumors about them rebooting his movie, but I haven't heard nothing since
They're
then.
gonna do that too. I actually saw something on Looper the other day. They were talking about. I shared it to our community. The reason being that they canceled all the Marvel shows off of Netflix is because Disney Plus is going to start their own production, and if you want to watch Marvel content, you're going to have to watch it on Disney Plus. One of the storylines that they're going to pick up is Howard the Duck. He's going to get his own show, but we're not going to really see any movement on it until 2 years from now. Whether that means it's going to be in the works 2 years from now, or it's already going to be in production, and then we'll see it in 3 years, I don't know. But they said that due to some kind of licensing agreement that they had to wait 2 years.
So now, so you're saying, I hadn't heard this, so you're saying Netflix is no longer doing Marvel shows?
No, they are not.
Because
you can still watch the Marvel shows that they have produced.
Right. Because I heard
it will always be on Netflix, but they are no longer going to be producing anything. Punisher is canceled. Jessica Jones is canceled.
Because I heard the rumors.
Still get
I heard the rumors that they were working on a Moon Knight series. I don't know if you'd heard
I heard that too. I did. I would really like to see Moon Knight. Like, Moon Knight's a really interesting character to me.
Yeah.
A lot of people say it's a knockoff version off of Batman, but like, I've read the details of the character, and this is like a completely different person as Batman. Like, if you really want to go as far to say that, then you can say Iron Man is a knockoff of Batman. He's just really fucking smart dude. You know what I mean? That's all he is. There's nothing special about him. He wears a fucking suit. That's it. You know, and so I saw that Ben Affleck finally came forward and spoke about him not being Batman. There was some, I don't know if he's just doing this to save face, because when he first made the press conference that he wasn't going to be a part of the DC universe anymore, and that he was being let go and whatnot, a lot of people said it was because he fell back into alcoholism. But he came out on the Jimmy Kimmel show, and he talked about how it was actually a mutual thing. See, not only was he going to be Batman in the new standalone Batman movie, he was supposed to direct it, he was supposed to write it, he was supposed to do all the work. He had to do like 4 jobs in one. And when he sat down to do it and he tried to do it, he couldn't figure it out. He couldn't make it to what it needed to be. Like, he felt like his work was shoddy and at best, and he didn't want to do that to Batman.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So he spoke with with Warner Brothers, explained that he couldn't do all the jobs. So they went and they got another director, the guy that directed Planet of the Apes, something Reeves, and he was going to direct it. But at that point, I guess the production company felt like they needed to just like completely cut ties.
Yeah, Angelo just said, "Let it go, let it go."
Yeah, like, if you're not going to do everything we contracted you to do, then we just don't. Kind of situation. So he was trying to say that, like, he was being, he had some humility of it, and he didn't want to do the character injustice by trying to cram so much work and making it lose its quality. He didn't want to do it. Like, he tried to make it like he made the decision, but they still kind of cut ties. And even though that's what he said, alcoholism could have played a part in him not being able to crack it. You know what I mean? Him not
Yeah.
being able to overcome the situation. So
You know what
I
I
still
think?
don't know, but that's what he came out and said.
You know what I think DC needs to do? And you watch
I
all the
think they need to stop
superhero
making
movies. If they make a Superman movie, they need to stop with Lex Luthor. They need to just make a Bizarro movie. Because I mean, the big zombie guy. How popular would that be with the action figures, the Halloween costumes?
I disagree with you, Jello. He says don't stop making DC shows.
No, The Flash is a pretty awesome show. And from what I hear, Teen Titans is really good.
Yeah, I want to check out the Doom Patrol. That looks kind of interesting. I haven't heard nothing.
Yeah, it looks really interesting.
I haven't heard any feedback from anyone who's watched it.
But isn't Cyborg on Teen Titans?
Justice League. He was in the Teen Titans, then they moved him over to Justice League for some reason.
But now he's going to be on Doom Patrol.
I don't know. He's part of the four, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, he's not. He's not part of the Doom Patrol. The main guys I think are like Robot Man. It's just a bunch of
I mean
weird-
the Titans. He's part of the four, the Titan.
Well, he looked like 'cause I saw a preview for Doom Patrol, and there's a black guy that looks like Cyborg.
Yeah, no, you're right. I did see the Cyborg in there, and that's kind of curious. That's maybe just to get people to want to watch it.
The thing about DC, like I just watched Aquaman. And in Aquaman, they reference him going to Atlantis for the first time, and supposedly he didn't know who Meredith was, and I don't know what else. But in Justice League, he goes into the ocean, he swims somewhere like with purpose, and he actually gets to Atlantis where they were keeping the mother box where Steppenwolf stole the box.
Right.
And Meredith was there, and Meredith tells him, "Please go fight." And they have a conversation. He never calls her by her name, but he tells her, like, "Well, I'm gonna need this, or I'm gonna need that." Well, you just spoke with Atlanteans. You were in Atlantis. So in Aquaman, supposedly he visits Atlantis for the very first time, and he learns Meredith's name and all this kind of shit. And I was watching, and I was like, that just don't make no goddamn sense. Why would they have even done that? And like Aquaman was good, but they screwed up Black Manta. Like, he wasn't cool at all. He was kind of a bitch. He was like a weaker version of 50 Cent. It was just, it wasn't like, he wasn't cool at all. He's supposed to be cool. In what world do we live in that the Ocean Master is cooler than Black Manta?
Yeah. I felt that same way when they did the Mandarin in the Iron Man movies. I was so pissed off. Because, in the Iron Man comics, he's the main arch-villain of Iron Man, and they make him out to be some actor, like acting a role. I'm like, why did they even do that? It's such a great character.
I think it's because they're saving the Mandarin. Because supposedly that wasn't like the actual character Mandarin, it was just some guy posing as the Mandarin kind of thing. So I think they're saving Mandarin for something else. I think they're just kind of saving it in the holster because, I mean, like, if you follow Marvel, dude, it's like every time you get another movie, the villain gets greater, the plot gets thicker, something gets cooler. There's just so many ways they can go with it. And
so Mo, let me ask you this: have you heard or read about Cosmic Ghost Rider? Have you heard about that?
I have. I've heard a little bit about him. I've heard a little bit.
Okay.
My friend Andrew, Frosty99, he's a big Ghost Rider fanatic.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So I can
Where is Frosty?
sum it up to you briefly. So Frank Castle is fighting, and he speaks the words, "I would give anything to kill Thanos." So Mephisto brings him down to hell and turns Frank Castle, the Punisher, into Ghost Rider. So now you have Frank Castle has the power of Ghost Rider, right? So meanwhile, Galactus is making a retreat, and there's always the war between Galactus and Thanos that's been going on forever. And so apparently he says to Galactus, hey, give me the power of the Silver Surfer, the power cosmic, and I'll be your herald. He's like, well, why would I do that? What do you have to offer me? And he says, well, we both have the same, we both want to kill Thanos. So then Galactus gives the Frank Castle, which is Ghost Rider, Silver Surfer's power. So you have 3 heroes all rolled into one. And that's the basis of what's going on with that. It's like the hottest Marvel comic. It's crazy.
Andrew says
Well,
Cosmic
shit,
GS sucks.
Then Disney
Look, this
Plus
is
is gonna have themselves a trifecta.
I don't even
'cause
know what. Angela's just Angela over here. Every other joke's about semen and other stuff like that. So I guess Andrew is not a fan of Cosmic GS.
Well, he's a fan of Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Do you think we should try to call?
So Ghost Rider's a part of Cosmic GS. But whatever. Okay, you're not a fan. Sorry, Andrew. I didn't mean to misfact you. Whatever, dude. But anyway,
It's
that
all
means
comics.
Disney Plus
It'll
is
all.
gonna have a trifecta because they're gonna also reprise Blade. They're gonna reprise Ghost Rider. They're gonna reprise Punisher. I really hope they keep the same actors. I don't want them to change the actors, but that probably won't happen. They'll probably end up changing.
Right.
So I like the guy that's playing Frank Castle now on Netflix.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Definitely.
He's perfect. The guy that plays Daredevil is perfect. Jessica Jones is kind of hit or miss.
I like the guy from that played the Kingpin in what is it, season 1 of the Daredevil?
Oh yeah.
Hands down.
Well, he's in all the seasons.
Well,
Vincent
I've only
D'Onofrio.
watched the first season, and then
Oh really?
yeah,
You need to get on that.
yeah. Well, I just
They're
got
pretty
Netflix
good.
back.
Daredevil's like the best Netflix show for Marvel, hands down, and Punisher's pretty good. Even though they changed Jigsaw.
I heard they're canceling Punisher, and everybody's
Punisher is canceled
upset. Everybody's
because
mad.
Disney Plus is picking up all the shows. They are stopping production. Netflix can no longer produce Marvel content.
What's up, Nikki?
Nikki on?
Yeah, our old homie Nikki, the one who left us a long time ago, in some different
Damn.
stores.
Damn. Oh, that Nikki.
Yes.
I thought she ghosted us. I guess she just ghosted me.
She has.
Yeah, Nikki,
She has
I'm
her
still
whole
sad
new,
about it.
her whole new life now.
Whole new life over at the Academy store.
That's a different Nikki.
Angelo says, "Thank God." So Mo,
That's funny.
I keep hearing from people about the new Star Trek that is supposed to be really good. I've heard that from like 4 different Star Trek fans. Have you watched that, or do you watch Star Trek at all?
I watched the newer stuff. I didn't really like the older stuff. I think that probably the oldest Star Trek that I was into was Nemesis. And
Yeah, we still love you too.
I enjoyed Star Trek Voyager. I thought that was a pretty decent show. From what I understand, Star Trek hired Quentin Tarantino to make a show, and time travel is going to be the premise on this show. So we're actually going to have Captain Kirk and Captain Picard and other captains in the Star Trek sagas, and they're all going to be in this show coming back. So there's going to be like a lot of a lot of old timers are going to want to watch this because all their favorite characters are coming back to the screen.
Right.
So I've heard a lot of good things about it. I'm going to watch it. Number one, I'm a Quentin Tarantino fan, and I will watch anything that he produces, directs, or presents. I will always watch a Tarantino flick, anytime. So
I guess
I'm
he's not.
excited to hear what did
He's
you
not
hear about it?
retiring. I guess he's not retiring.
yeah, everybody remember the commish? He's retired, man. He retired.
He said he was
Like,
retiring.
no,
he said like
He has said it 7 times. He has retired 7 times. The man is never going to retire. He's going to die in a director's chair.
Probably.
That's where he's going to die. He's going to just fucking die, and finally he's going to win an award. Like, there's no he died during this movie. We're gonna have to give him the best picture. Let's go ahead and do it. Here you go, Quentin.
The best ending scene ever. Dead in the director's chair.
And that's gonna be a picture at the end of the movie. This is dedicated to you, Quentin. And he's like dead in the chair. Like,
yeah, he has such a big ego. He's always like,
yeah, he was.
Let's see another director have as many like nominations as I've won and made these many, and like he's always over his drama and other different movies he made it, and he said, I won an award for a love story. Everybody's like, when did you make a love story movie? What was the movie called?
True Romance.
There we go.
He made True Romance. That's a love story. Sorry that there's explosions and drugs and fucking sex. It's a love story.
Doug was asking if we've seen Umbrella Academy. I haven't seen it.
I haven't yet, but I am interested to watch it.
I watched the first 15 minutes of it, and it's interesting. It's definitely interesting.
Why did you only watch the first 15 minutes of it?
Well, this is how it panned out. Me and my wife watched the beginning of it to see if it was suitable for our 10-year-old to watch it, because he loves all superhero stuff. So we deemed that the PG-14, we deemed that it's good enough for him to watch. So we didn't want to watch too far into it, so I'd have to watch the same thing over again. So
right, okay.
We're going to go back and watch the beginning again. So
that makes sense.
I didn't want to watch like the beginning of it and have it end up being like The Watchmen and grabbing for the remote, trying to change the channel or turn it off.
Like, ah! Shut this down! Yeah. Kids make watching things a little more tricky.
Yep. I haven't heard from him yet. Is he in the chat right now?
Should we try calling him?
I just sent him a text message right now, because they were driving. Sorry, guys. I have a little bit of cold. So.
You sick bastard.
I feel better than I was, but now I have this little bit of a cough now.
Yeah.
I guess we could just call.
Stop smoking, Mark.
I don't smoke.
Well, if he stopped drinking cold medicine
Do you want to
just
call
randomly, then maybe it would work when he's sick, Drinking that Robitussin to get a buzz on the weekends.
Gotta get that scissor in you.
He's built up the immunity to that green shit.
Sounds about right.
Why don't you call him? You have his number handy.
I'll call
See
him.
what's going on here.
Come on, you bunch of call bugs. Get on the ball there. Get excited. Make that phone call.
Maybe they're on stage right now. I don't know.
Goddamn rock stars.
I thought they were in the truck. They were loading
Yeah.
something up. So I'm not entirely sure, because I thought he said he was going to be ready by 10:30 our time. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, he hasn't put a message in the Discord, so maybe he's just busy over in general.
Maybe.
Did you see the new Black Mirror? The Black Mirror episode. Sorry, the Black Museum. I haven't watched the Black Mirror series, have you?
No, I haven't. I think I saw an episode once because a friend of mine told me that I would find this specific episode very interesting, and I watched it, and I mean it was fucked up, but it didn't grasp me. But I've heard a lot of people talk very well of that show. I'm not saying it's a bad show. I'm just saying it wasn't for me.
How is
I'm more of
How is
American
Tarantino
Horror
broke?
Stories.
Who are you talking about, Angelo? How is Tarantino broke? He says
Tarantino is not broke.
He said like he has to have a big ego because he can't afford a big truck, and I said he could afford a truckload of trucks. And he says he's broke.
He can.
I don't know how he's.
Quentin
broke.
Tarantino's not broke. He's worth like $7.1 million, something like that.
That's crazy.
I mean, I would try to explain it to you, sir, but I understand that the South will rise again in your household. I'm just saying. I'm just playing Jello. Don't be mad. I know you're mad now. He's mad. Don't be mad at me. I pissed him off. His new nickname's gonna be Johnny Reb. Johnny Reb's Antic.
I don't know why.
What's going on, man?
I don't know
Why am I getting half-faced?
why you're getting half a face. I'm trying to see where he's at, but I guess it. Maybe they're in the middle of traveling right now. So.
Maybe they're in a dead zone.
It's possible. They went under a ramp or a bridge or something like that. I don't know.
Just relax.
Or the cop hasn't pulled over for paraphernalia. They're all, outside the truck being handcuffed and whatnot.
So, I mean, they're rock stars, man. They're just running late, dude. Look at you. We were supposed to go on at 9 o'clock.
This is true. Not gonna lie.
That's what happens in the business, dude. It doesn't happen.
Fashionably late, right? Is that how it is?
Jamie, I tell Mark to be somewhere usually like 2 hours before I want him there.
And he shows up just in time, right?
Well, I was talking to you at 9 o'clock. I just couldn't connect.
40 minutes late. I know you were talking to me. I'm just saying we weren't on. We weren't ready.
We couldn't get ready. There was no way. It was weird. I still don't understand how this was a whole other different thing.
I just received a text message from Angelo's fiance commenting on, please don't get him started with the South will rise again stuff. Me and Vinny are trying to relax. I love you, Jello. Calm down, man. Don't, save all that arguing for me. We can argue about it later. Oh shit, we don't want to suck our Hawk fans into
I know that there's a delay. I just don't understand. Like, I don't know what Chris Angelo's talking about. He's like, he wasn't talking about Chris. He's talking about something else. So I don't know. Like how you see the chat, and Angelo, when you type the chat and it comes up on the screen, that's when we see it. So when you type it, if it shows up 4 minutes later, then I guess it is showing 4 minutes up later.
Oh, there's a 4-minute lag?
I don't know. He's saying there's a 4-minute lag. I couldn't tell you.
Really?
Unless, like, you grabbed it, you had Nicole type a message in the phone and see how long it showed up. Because it shows up right on the screen here, all the things they write in chat, which is probably a bad idea. When I see what Angelo writes, it's probably a bad idea to have chat right on the live stream.
Oh shit.
But
hey, Nicole, can you just text the comments in the chat and tell me when you send it so that we can see how long it takes for it to pop up? Where Is she gonna get on the Discord chat, or where is she gonna comment?
No, just on the live stream, anywhere,
on a live stream.
YouTube,
Facebook,
Twitch,
YouTube,
whatever.
Any of them. What is Angelo commenting on?
I don't know. You said he was talking about like Chris is broke, but I don't. Which Chris is? Did we talk about a Chris? I don't remember talking about a Chris.
Mentioned Chris. Okay, oh no, it goes right through. She just sent it. There's no lag.
Yeah.
You see hi guys on it?
Yep.
Yeah, I see it.
From Nicole?
Yeah, it's like.
Alright, yeah, it popped right up. So there's no lag. I said something about he was arguing with me about something. Thank you.
Okay.
And I put an end to that argument or something to that nature.
But we were talking about egos. We were talking about Tarantino's ego, but I don't know. I saw Nicole's message.
Tarantino has a big ego, but he has 218, nominations.
Yeah.
But is his ego big enough for him to talk in the third person?
I don't think I've ever heard him talk about himself in the third person.
Quentin Tarantino is gonna retire for the 8th time.
I don't think he talks like that.
No, so his ego's not that big.
Huh? Sure.
Andrew says
you have to cut it with water. What did Andrew say?
He said we got a 25-second lag.
It's not a lot. It's not a lot of lag. Stop crying, Angelo.
Actually, I could test it right now.
You're gonna test it?
Yeah, because I could type in the chat right now.
But didn't we just test it with Nicole?
It just came up now.
You just tested?
I just hit it and it just came up, so I don't understand. And then Andrew's thing, I hit test and it came up like 3 seconds later. It's like a 3 or 4 second lag for us. I don't know.
Maybe they just don't have this.
I know our reaction to you guys is going to be like 25 or 30 seconds later. And this is why I said that I realized this when we were doing our live streams, that it was sometimes that there's that little bit of interaction delay while we're talking. But you guys are like, live's the best, so we stopped doing premieres. We could chat with you instantaneously before, but you guys want it live, so we live. We requested to be live, and we're live.
Man, y'all ain't never happy. Gotta bitch about something.
Yeah.
Shit.
And then they wanted us to be. Some people wanted us on Facebook. Some people wanted us on YouTube. Some people said, "Well, I ain't you on Twitch." I'm on all three of them right now. All three of them.
All three, bitch. We're over the top. Take that, hot.
Nationwide.
I don't know. I guess
Nationwide is on your side.
it will be harder for you, Mo, to hear, but because you can't hear through Discord. But I could play one of the band's songs while we wait here. I know, like, YouTube's probably
Alright,
gonna
go ahead.
on me.
I'll mute my mic and I'll listen to it on YouTube.
Perfect time to take a bathroom break, right?
Go urinate.
So, what song are you gonna play, Marco?
Let me know when you play it.
Oh, I'm gonna play it right now.
He's
Okay.
playing it right now.
I don't know. You turned something on your thing. There you go.
I did hear it. I listened to it. I thought it was starting to end, so I switched back over. Now I have a cat.
It's like a parrot.
Yep. A parrot. Eats crackers.
So, how did you end up talking with these guys anyways? I know you met them in a collective trading.
What had transpired is he had posted some pictures of some tapes he had picked up. I'm not sure where he got them, like a thrift store somewhere. And in the stack of tapes, there was a Social Distortion tape in there. And that was, yeah, and it was like the first Social Distortion album they made when they came back in like 1988. And I specifically remember buying that at Rainbow Records across from the hospital years ago in Fort Myers here. So I messaged him. I said, hey, you want to trade or sell that Social Distortion? He goes, yeah, I might do that. He's like, send me some pictures of some stuff you have. So I sent him some pictures, and I have he picked the one tape out of the bunch that was like a $30-$40 tape, and he honestly didn't know that it was a rare tape. And he offered to give me more for it. I'm like, no, if you want it, that's cool. Just send me the Social Distortion. So then I get the package in the mail like a week later, and he put a demo tape of his band. I didn't even know he played in a band. And he said, hey, it's the least I could do. I'd give you this tape, since you gave me such a good trade. I'm like, oh, well, that's awfully nice. And I listened to it, and I said, yeah, this is pretty good. And next thing I know, I take a picture of his tape and post it on the Facebook group, and then the next thing I know, I get a t-shirt and a CD in the mail from him. So he just decided, he's like, oh, well, thanks, man, I'm glad you like it. And they sent me their album and their t-shirt. And ever since then, we just, been friends, trading tapes here and there. He actually just traded me 3 old Judas Priest tapes. So I was listening to those last night. It's pretty interesting. But that's how I got to know him.
Yeah, cassette is the new hotness now.
Yeah.
Cassettes.
Cassettes are
all those cassettes that I went and probably destroyed and stuff like that.
Cassettes are the new black. So
like, there's ones that are like what, worth $100 now?
There's ones worth way more than that. I mean, I have a friend that I trade with in California, and he was showing me a picture of a tape that he wants to buy on Discogs, and the price on it, I believe, if I remember correctly, is $450. And he's willing to shell that out. He's been trying to sell some stuff to get enough money to buy this tape. It's pretty rare, obviously, but that's a big chunk of change for one cassette,
Wow.
Maybe
I should hold on to my DVDs. They might be worth something one day.
It's
Yeah.
true.
People collect VHS tapes. There's groups on Facebook where people will buy your VHS tapes from you. I've sold a few of mine. I just joined a group just to get rid of some of the crap in my garage.
Nice. How much is VHS tapes going for?
Well, it really just depends on what you have. If you have something that's kind of rare, like a John Waters film, you're going to get more for it, than... Like, I still have a sealed copy of Clerks.
Oh, wow.
And, I don't know if it's initially sealed or if it was one of those Blockbuster reseals. You remember how they used to do that? When they would sell you the used movies and they would reseal them somehow, and the same with their video games. But
fucking bastards, yeah.
Alright, he's talking now. Alright, I'm gonna...
that was me.
Probably. That was a couple minutes ago.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna...
Try calling him again.
Crop your video off for a second, Mo.
Sure.
probably we probably should end your video call really quick, and then what I'll do is I'm gonna try to get them in here. You'll still be able to talk though, Mo?
No, that was me. I messaged him to try to see if he was. That's not him messaging me. That's me messaging him. We can try to call him. Why don't you call his number again and see if.
You can still hear us, right, Mo?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So, there was a question for you from Andrew. He wanted to know what you thought about the first Purge movie. Not the series, but the first movie. He specifically said not the series. I know he's going to continue to ask you about the Purge over and over again. So, what is your opinion?
So about me? He's asking me?
Yeah.
It's no news here about the Purge, buddy. I've boycotted the franchise. I have not watched one Purge movie. I have not watched one Purge episode, and I will never do so.
Yeah, you know, in all honesty, I haven't watched a Purge movie either.
I'm just not interested. There's enough other... And it might be me, you know, splitting hairs or whatever. I just think it's too close to a political statement to put into a movie, and I'm sure I've said it on the show before when I went to go see X-Men Apocalypse, and this was when I first got divorced. So I used to go to movies by myself. I'd just go to a movie if I wanted to see a movie, and I wanted to see Apocalypse. So I go see Apocalypse. I leave the theater because the movie's over. There's like 7 kids with 2 ladies, obviously sisters, and they shared one thing of popcorn, one big soda, and they're walking around and having fun and, you know, taking pictures with posters and stuff like that. I'm thinking to myself, hey, that's really beautiful. And then there's this lady walking out of the theater with 2 teenage boys, and one of the teenage boys looks over and says, you see that? It's people like that that make me wish the Purge was real. Just like shoot all these fucking stupid people. And the mother looked at him and said, I know, right? And I was like, what? Like, how could you ever let your teenage son say that out loud about a family having a good time? Like, really? Like, it made me feel disgusted. Like, I just totally turned me off to it. So I just won't watch it. I won't show them any support. Hell no. I don't know if you guys heard that story or not.
Yeah, we heard it.
Oh, okay. I just wondered if I got a comment back or something.
I guess I missed the thing. They're in the parking lot. They're waiting for us. I don't know how long ago that message came through, but it came through a while ago, I guess. Let's see. But,
now you can't get through to them?
I pitched them through the thing. They haven't answered the call though.
Andrew say something about the Purge? Or about my answer?
I don't see.
I think he stopped paying attention. I guess, probably. Mo, can you leave the phone call? Can you hear me? Hey Mo, can you leave the phone call?
Sure.
I'm gonna try to recall it, okay?
So,
Alright, I'm just waiting for their feed.
it said on the comment that they got really confused and frustrated to maybe do it another time.
Yeah, it just came up now. They dropped out of the call. I tried to call him on the phone, but he didn't answer on the phone.
Try calling him on the phone again. Maybe we'll just do.
Hello? Oh, it's still dialing.
I'm sorry, the person you were trying to reach has a voicemail box.
Tell him to answer his phone call.
Sounds like they shut it off.
Doesn't Facebook go right to him? Why don't you like Facebook message him?
Let's see. See what he says. It's been 30 minutes. Czarus.
Maybe he'll call on Facebook. Maybe he'll answer on Facebook. I don't know. Well, I'm not gonna leave people just standing there. I'm gonna leave them. Let's play music.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine. We can do the interview over here. We played one of your songs. So how's it going, man? You played a show tonight?
Yeah, just our drummer of Czarus and I, we did one at this place called Low-Key Arts. It's like an art foundation here in Arkansas in Hot Springs. And we didn't play Czarus because our singer and main guitar player is in Memphis right now watching Kiss. So.
That's crazy. So sorry about all the technical difficulties.
Man, I'm not very good with technology. I apologize. I started getting frustrated. I was like, I don't know what any of this does.
Well, don't get frustrated.
Yeah, don't get. You can always.
It's all right. Like, what we'll try to do later is try a little practice call and everything like that.
Okay. Yeah,
And then
sure.
we'll work it out that way beforehand. We were having some audio difficulties too earlier. Like, he couldn't hear me at all, so we ended up going kind of late ourselves. So it's just.
Well, yeah, that's what I sent the message and I accepted the friend request, and then I couldn't, where I could see everybody's messages where everyone was talking. It took me like 15 minutes to find that again. I was just lost.
Yeah, modern technology can be confusing sometimes.
We got a good gig, though. It was cool. It was the first time for that one, for that band, and it's just like a little side project of our drummers. It went pretty good.
Cool.
We had fun.
So while we got you on the phone, we're going to ask you a few questions.
All right. I'm ready when you are, I reckon.
Okay, first off, tell us a little bit about your band, where you guys got the idea for the name from.
Really, actually, the guy who's going to see Kiss tonight, he and I, we met as little kids and we've been playing music together for years. Hey, give me just pause for 2 seconds.
I want one of them Funyuns, Mo.
I should put Mo on
No, I
camera.
can't get none. You can put them back on.
Okay, I apologize. I'm back. Forget. I had to leave the gig and come here. It's been a wild night, man. We have a 3-week-old baby, too, so me and my wife. But anyway, back to your question. Alex and I, singer and other guitar player, we've been friends when we were little kids. We've been playing music together. And we kind of drifted apart after high school a little bit. And when we reunited, we're like, he was tired of the music he was playing. I was tired of the music I was playing. And he had a friend named Ian, which is our drummer, which has, become a good friend of mine through Czarus. And we all just were like, we all have been through all this other crap and all this other situations with these other bands not going anywhere, not agreeing with the other members, and it just clicked. And the name for the band is funny because we just tried to make up our own word, and it wound up getting shortened a bit and turned out to be a Slavic word, and we just wound up with it stuck. So that's pretty much that, I guess.
So tell us about your acid bath collection and the $100 guilty pleasure. we're all interested in hearing this.
I don't know why I'm so obsessed with that stuff. I just really like the metal bands from New Orleans in the 90s and even up to now, but I'm from the South, but you guys are in Florida, correct?
Yeah. Florida's...
Calling from Florida, so I'm from the South, and it's kind of like, I can sort of relate with that aspect of it, like the blues influence in it and stuff, like more primitive music, but I love the lyrics and Dax Riggs, the singing and praising and stuff like that, and got into collecting tapes again a couple of years ago when I stopped drinking. That was like my thing, I stopped buying a bunch of booze and get drunk all the time and started buying records. Then started getting more and more obsessed, and I got a couple of records signed by Sammy Dewitt, and, it just went from there. I kind of got a little overly obsessed, I guess.
Yeah. It happens to all of us. So, the other thing I want... Oh, thank you for the Judas Priest, by the way. I had a good time listening to the old Judas Priest
good.
last
They
night.
play good. Like I say, I was the second owner of those. Those were my stepdad's for years and years and years. He carried those all over the world with him, where he could, I should say.
Yeah, that's cool. And so when I took them out of the package, the cases fell to pieces on the one, so I hooked it up. I got hundreds of free new cases, so...
Yeah, did you see my note in there?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, alright. I was making sure, because when I stuck it in there, I was like, yeah, it's kind of small. It may fall on the bottom. You may not see it, but hopefully you will,
Just so you know, next time if you write me a note and we trade some tapes, I require cartoon drawings.
Okay, cartoon drawings it is. You got it. I can come up with something wacky, I'm sure.
And I'll be more than glad to...
Mildly amusing.
I'll be more than glad to oblige. I'll draw some cartoons for you too. And we wanted to ask you about... What were you saying, Marco, the other day? What band do you like that is not...
I guess, like, what band do you listen to that, I guess he put it as a guilty pleasure, that isn't into your regular norm of music that you play or listen to, that you enjoy, but most people would say it's different?
Eddie Money. Yeah, and our singer, Alex, he has a guilty pleasure for Garth Brooks. So those are, I guess, our two really odd, unusual things that, like, grouped in with their peers, we would be like, no, I turned that off, oh, listen to that crap or whatever, But those particular ones, maybe it's for sentimental reasons or something.
Right. It's funny you say Eddie Money because I had a strange story for you. The very first... My parents wouldn't let me listen to rock and roll music, and my oldest brother made me a dub tape of Eddie Money's first album, so it's funny you would say that. That was like the very first actual rock and roll album I had was the Two Tickets to Paradise album.
Very nice. Very nice. How cool is that?
So we all know you're a big Black Sabbath fan. So
yeah.
Can you name every singer that sang for Black Sabbath?
Ozzy and Dio and Tony Martin and Ray Gillen. Wasn't it Ray? Wasn't his name? And then Ian, from Deep Purple.
Right.
And if there was I feel like there was one more and I'm not thinking of it, but Ray Gillen is the guy that did the No Stranger to Love and with a 7-star album with him.
So who's your favorite guitar player? What's the guitar player you wish you could play
like
like?
Asking me which kid I love the most.
Depends on what day it is, right?
Oh, man. Well, you know what? I have a tattoo of Randy Rhoads on me, so I'll just go ahead and say Randy Rhoads because, and actually, since we're on the subject, I always preferred him over Eddie Van Halen because, there's kind of that you're either an Eddie or a Randy guy,
Right.
I always thought Randy was a lot less flashy and a lot less like, ooh, look at what I can do. He was just doing it. I guess that's what I admired about him so much.
I think I played guitar for 30 plus years also, and I think the first guitar player that made me want to just like stop playing was the very first time I heard Al Di Meola. I was totally blown away by him, and still to this.
Actually, I up until like 2 years ago, I had never heard of him at all, and Ian and Alex are both big fans of Al Di Meola. Alex made me some dub tapes off of his records of that, and I really enjoy that stuff. I don't know any of the names of the songs because I didn't write them down, but I enjoy the music.
Yeah, the very first one I heard was the live in San Francisco, where it's the three John McLaughlin, Paco de Lucia, and Al Di Meola playing acoustic in like I think 1981 or the late 70s. You definitely should check that out. It's just sick.
Yeah, oh, and I, like I said, never heard of any of that kind of stuff, was totally oblivious to it. And he's like, man, you should check this out. It kind of took a time or two, and then I was like, wait a minute, this is pretty damn cool, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So how's the new baby doing?
Oh, good, good. Little fussy, 3 weeks old kind of stuff, but we're managing. Not much sleep, but, as Henry Rollins said, there is no downtime.
Yeah, yeah. We all have kids. We understand.
Right, yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about.
So what's your next biggest purchase music-wise? Like as far as a record, I'm not talking about like going out and buying a new Stratocaster or something like that, but like record-wise or cassette-wise.
Probably, I don't know about the monetary value of it, but like impact on me, probably Blue Cheers, Vince Buster of them. Just because I've loved it for a long time and always like listened to it on YouTube and dub tapes and stuff like that, but never actually owned a copy of it, and I'm really excited to own one. I think that's going to be the next thing I jump on, maybe an original vinyl pressing of it or something.
I seen something really cool on eBay the other day. I thought I was gonna talk to you about it a little bit. Have you ever seen the original Snapcase versions of cassettes, like with the old original cases that snap shut like a clamshell? Have you seen those?
I don't. You talking about where there's like a lip on it? It kind of clips over and it's more sealed off. I think I may know what you're talking about.
It's like an old clamshell case, like how you would get DVDs in, except for they're smaller for cassettes. I seen one on eBay the other day of Iron Butterfly.
I don't guess I have seen those.
Yeah, it's. I guess when cassettes first came out, they came out that way. I seen one of Iron Butterflies in the Gata de Vita for like $20 on eBay. I was so tempted to buy that.
Yeah. I have a later pressing. I think it was like made in the late 80s or early 90s or something. But that's a great record. I'd spend $20 on that, especially in that original case like that. Definitely.
Are you guys gonna go see Slayer on their farewell tour?
No. And I can explain why. In 2006 or something like that, they came through and it was the original band. They had Dave Lombardo on that tour. And I was just being a boneheaded kid and decided to, go hang out with some girl or something instead of going, and I'd kicked myself in the ass ever since for that. And now that Jeff is gone and Dave's not in the band, I just don't have a desire to do it. I feel like I missed my opportunity and I just got to live with it.
Alright. So tell us about your where some people can go and purchase some of your music or download some of your songs.
We have a Bandcamp. If you just go on Bandcamp and type in Czarus in all caps, you can search Czarus on Facebook. We have an Instagram as Czarus_the band. We have an email also. If you want to just email me directly for merch or something, I can send lists out that way at Czarus music and the number 4 at Yahoo. So.
If they are watching on YouTube, I have the links to your Bandcamp and your Facebook page.
Yeah,
I just don't.
YouTube links, yeah.
I just don't have the Instagram thing. So if you message me that later, I'll put that in the information section there. So when people come along there, they could go check you guys out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We go at the end of March. So this will be March 30th and 31st. And the 1st of April, we'll go into the studio and do some more live recording with someone that's a little more experienced with what we do. So our first album was done by a guy. He's a great guy. He's really good at what he does. He's just not familiar with our style, and maybe that was kind of a mistake on our part for going that route, you know. So I'd like for people to keep in mind out there, you know, what the production quality of the stuff that we have out is one thing compared to what if you came and saw us at the, you know, local bar that we play at or whatever. Sonically, it is different.
Well, the sound quality sounds fine to me, but, you know.
Well, yeah, I guess you know, you didn't write the songs and you didn't record them and you didn't, you know, buy the stuff and put them out and send them to people, because me, I hear all those little quirks and I'm like, oh my God, they're going to hear them too. They're driving me nuts.
Yeah, it's definitely true. The old saying that you're your own worst critic. So.
Well, I think you ought to be, you know. I mean, if you can't pick on yourself, who can pick on you, you know? I don't know, maybe I'm joking around, but in all seriousness, you have to look at yourself and evaluate, you know, is this good or, you know, because we do, technically we do it for ourselves, but, you know, we want others to enjoy it also, for sure.
Right.
Well, as far as metal and everything like that, I find you guys are pretty easy to listen to, as of like all those other bands just trying to stay like, I don't know, I guess they back in the late 80s, early 90s, everybody was trying to push to be as hard and as heavy as possible. And not saying that you guys aren't as hard and heavy, but like, I think you guys could be like a regular sound that people would listen to on the general radio, you know? Definitely a Black Sabbath sound to it. I don't know, like a little bit more further back in like rock and metal as of a sound. I could hear the blues and stuff like that.
That means a lot that you noticed that. Thank you. I appreciate that.
But I don't know why more people don't listen. People need to listen to this. So.
Right.
Well, I think I think one of our biggest hurdles is in social media and let's just say the internet in general is wonderful for things like this. You know, it helps you get exposure, but at the same time, you're in a sea of bands. You know, you can't get famous the same way that Led Zeppelin or Deep Purple or Black Sabbath or on and on and on the way they did, because there were so many less bands. You know, it's such a bigger thing. Everybody's got a rock band, every, you know, town across the country and the world. So you kind of get lost in the list of names and Bandcamp and Metal Archives and Wikipedia, you know?
Yeah, this definitely comes down to now, like, how relatable you are in social media. If you don't want, unless you have, like, some big label pushing big money for you to get you out there, it definitely has to be in social media. Which is, like, why I thought that Jamie's idea was a great idea, because, you know, we're trying to bring more content and good content to everybody out there, and why not help other musicians and stuff like that at the same time get heard, have their music heard.
Certainly.
And everything like that.
Certainly.
Just makes sense.
You know, that's why I take up an opportunity like this, because it's certainly appreciated. I know that for sure.
Definitely some good songs, man. I was really, like, the first tape you sent me, which thank you by the way, is you did a G.G. Allen cover on there. Let's talk about that for a second. Is it one specific person in the band, or do all of you guys enjoy that style of music? Because, you know, that's an acquired... G.G. Allen's a big acquired taste.
We'll say 3 out of 4, and I won't say the number 4, but 3 out of 4, definitely, very much so.
Yeah, that's definitely...
And, I'm not like, I don't advocate a lot of Gigi's ideas and stuff, but I do appreciate the lawlessness and the craziness of it, you know. He's sort of almost like a Charles Manson figure in a way, you know.
Yeah. He definitely is.
Not everything he did was right, but at the same time, when he speaks, there are some things that make sense in the chaos, of it all.
Right. It's just the freedom to do what you choose to do, and he was...
Exactly. You're not limited in any way.
He was the poster boy to break...
It's fun, because all the people, like, when we play it live, the people who don't know who G.G. Allen are like, what in the fuck, or what is going on right now, And the rest of them are like, oh my god, they're playing a G.G. Allen song. So
Right.
it usually gets a good reaction.
Right. And I think G.G. Allen wrote off the bad publicity is better than good publicity to get his name out there, too,
Sure, absolutely.
There's nothing like being naked on stage and getting arrested to get everybody in the town you were just in to know your name.
Well, yeah, and the antics are certainly more famous than the music. There's no doubt about that,
Right.
But he's not the only one that did that. He learned it from somebody.
Yeah.
From somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, shock value, definitely.
Yeah.
Works.
Exactly. Just a different. It wasn't like Kiss for Alice Cooper. He found his own way of doing it.
Or like David Bowie.
His background's really important in his story. His childhood. Leading up into being a teenager is a huge part of who he became. So I consider all those things when I put a G.G. Allen cover on an album that it almost doesn't, fit into, I guess.
Right.
Because I know it's a very big contrast compared to some of the other songs.
It's music to the point of art. That's kind of how I always listen to him.
Sure. And you don't have to endorse those ideas. You can, it's kind of like reading a book about something that you don't really agree with. You're just trying to educate yourself, have more understanding.
Oh yeah, I love watching documentaries on serial killers. Doesn't mean I'm gonna go kill my neighbor,
Right.
Exactly.
It's just intriguing. So what kind of movies do you like, man? Are you into like the Marvel superhero movies, which is the big talk before you came on?
No, I'm not. The other guys in the band are big into like Star Wars and the Marvel movies and all that, and I'm kind of boring. I kind of like old black and white horror movies and like comedies, like 90s, like Billy Madison or something. I don't take it too seriously. About horror movies are about the only thing that I really can take seriously and holds my attention.
Yeah, I definitely prefer the Universal Monsters movies over like modern horror any day of the
Yeah, absolutely, and like Hammer films and stuff like that.
Right,
Yeah.
the Vincent Price movies are amazing. I can still...
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he was incredible.
Yeah.
Like The Last Man on Earth and The Bat. I mean, there's a bunch of those ones that nobody talks about that are really fantastic too.
Oh, and for me, my favorites out of like the old horror movie from that, time period is definitely the Dr. Phibes movies, both of them, The Abominable and The Return.
Right.
Those are
Yeah.
absolutely amazing movies.
Yeah, it went willing to make so much out of so little, because back then they had so little special effects compared to what we have now to work with,
Right.
And all that stuff is wonderful for inspiring themes and ideas. You can hear a line in one of those old movies like that, and I'm like, lyrics, it sparks this thing. So we're good for that too.
Yeah, well, they had to have good acting because they didn't have special effects,
Right. Well, and you couldn't get up and go make popcorn and come back and still know everything that was going on. You can get away with that more nowadays. Back then, you had to really sit down and pay attention and watch what was going on. It wasn't as much
Right.
like, okay, we know what's going to happen. We're watching it anyway. We're going to think that it's good.
I think though, for me, like out of my, it's not my interview, but my favorite movies of all time are got to be the original Planet of the Apes. There's something about those movies, I can watch them over and over and over again and just never get bored with them.
No, it's been a very long time for me. Actually, my love for horror movies comes from my dad. My dad he had all kinds of movies, and he loved them, and he loved to share them with me. And you know, like as a teenager, early teen, he'd be like, sit down and watch this movie. And I'm like, I don't want to. He's like, you don't have any choice. And now I'm super grateful for it. You know, Planet of the Apes was one of those in that group.
Right. Well, we'd like to thank you for coming on. And
thank you guys for having me. I'm sorry about the confusion earlier. I'm not very tech savvy. It's enough for me to get my email and make sure that I've sent out any merch that's been ordered.
Right. Well, we're gonna try to do this more properly. I want to do it properly, so everybody gets a good representation and everything like that. If you have any music videos or anything you've done, like send me a link to them, and then we'll get it all set up all nice and neat. We'll listen to your music and everything like that with everybody, and we'll just get it all properly done. I'll just have to get with you over the next couple of days.
Well, I mean, you know, what you see on YouTube is pretty much what we got. We have one really old promo video from like we had been a band for like 8 or 9 months or something. It's like 3 minutes long or something like that on YouTube. We haven't done any videos. We had one planned that we were supposed to do, and it never did pan out. So it's abandoned ship and try better next time, you know.
Have you ever tried to do just like a live recording? A lot of bands just do like a live recording, just with multiple angles.
At some point we do. We have some footage that we've put together for like a short DVD. It would be like 35 minutes or something like that, 34 minutes. That we're going to release at some point. It's just taking a little bit longer than we originally had anticipated. So it's pretty bare bones, you know. It's like some of it's VHS footage, you know, just real simple stuff, nothing crazy. But
people are trying to make their footage look like VHS now for the look. That's like the trend now. Like everything wants to be the 80s right now. So like, there's like these guys are like 20 years old. They're like, how do I make my video look like that? I said, you want it to look fucked up like on a VHS? Like, I can help you make it look fucked up like that. I'll just take out all the quality out of it for you if that's what you want.
Well, and I can say that this time, like what we're in, like what you were just saying there, is kind of frustrating for a guy like me or, you know, my bandmate. Like, we kept buying VHS tapes because they were 50 or 25 cents, and it's the same movie, you know? We're like, hell yeah, we don't care. And then now it's come back around. It's kind of like tapes and vinyl and all that stuff. It's like, well, damn it, kind of ruins it for you, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like tapes. I mean, I grew up with tapes. I don't remember my parents ever listening to vinyl records. I grew up with tapes, and I always, you know, when they went uncool, my first thought was same songs, less money. You know, I can take care of them. They're cool, you know. When I got back into it, I was like, oh my God, this is a big deal. Like, people still really care about this. It took me a minute to kind of get with the groove.
Yeah, it's definitely about, like, it's the quality of the artwork now. I guess that's a good thing. Like, some people would say differently, but the quality of the art now is way more important because we have there's such a saturation of like music out there that quality art is all you really have now, and it could be in any kind of style as long as like it's like a good quality and a good message, I guess.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, you see really high quality album cover and you put the album on and it doesn't match up to the cover, where it seems like, you know, back in the older days, like, you know, tape trading and stuff, you kind of had a reverse problem. You had this hokey, terrible album cover with killer songs, you know. So I don't feel like you see that as much anymore. It's kind of the opposite.
Yeah, I remember those days looking through the Circus magazine trying to find a cool album cover to go out and buy it because you could never hear the songs until you or one of your friends shelled out the money to buy the album.
Yeah. Or your parents flipping out, like, who are you writing in Wisconsin? You know, you don't even know this person. You don't want to send a money order to them. And, you know, you sent the money order and didn't know if you were going to get anything from it, too. So.
Right. I remember getting Napalm Death's demo tape in the mail, and it took like I think 3 months to get it, and I just bought that and like from Action Records, that and a Cancerous Growth tape, like a live tape, and it took like three months to get them in the mail.
It probably looked like
By the
it was
time they come, you forgot about them, you know?
Yeah, and they were like second generation demos. They were like printed, and you know, they weren't like directly from the band.
Did the box come to you all like tattered and retaped like 10 times? Looked like it might be a bomb and not actually a tape in there.
You know, and like all my friends in high school were like, "Holy shit, you got Napalm Death's demo tape?" Because like their first album was out, and they're like, "Where did you get that?" And I'm like, "Well, I got it from somewhere in the Chicagoland area."
Yeah, I remember my parents tripping. I mean, like, they freaked out when they, you know, I'd been ordering Metal Maniacs magazines, and they found that there was classifieds in the back of them. You know, if you were, I'm sure you guys have read some of that stuff.
Right.
There was all kinds of weird, crazy stuff in there, you know. Yeah. And they were like, "What is this? Are these the people you've been writing?" And it was not a fun day.
Yeah. They're my pen pals.
I had those damn burnt CDs, you know.
Yeah. They're my pen pals, Mom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know. Well, this one says he's in prison, you know. Like, oh, I didn't write him.
Cool. Well, I think we're about ready to wrap it up, but I think Marco's gonna make this up nice and tidy on YouTube, so you can,
I'll clean it up a little bit, but I gotta ask you a couple questions. So I'm gonna end the stream, but I'm gonna talk to you a little bit so we can try to set up like when we could do this, so you don't have to be sitting out in some parking garage area, like checking on the phone. So thanks, guys, for like coming in.
You know, it was supposed to be last weekend, and everything got changed up, and then I didn't think about it until like Wednesday or Thursday. I was like, "Oh crap, I have a gig, and they want to do the interview." So.
Yeah.
Just give me 1 second. So, all right, guys, Hawks. Like, thanks for all you guys who came in and chatted with us, and who stayed at the end. I don't know how many people are left in the end listening to this right now because it's really late.
Bonsai Man is.
Oh, Bonsai Man is up here with me right now. But you guys will rewatch the rerun of this later, anyways. But we're gonna like do this properly very soon. But thank you guys for all hanging out. See you later. Mo had to go take care of his boy.
See you later, Mo.
So he had to go. So we'll see you guys soon. Okay, at least by something going on next Saturday, either a regular podcast or whatever's going on next Saturday. Okay.